Hi everyone, Elite Assassin here, and welcome to the Road to the Master Chief Collection. This week we'll be focusing on Halo 3. Now I wanted to do a quick little note here. This will be unfortunately the last week of the Road to the Master Chief Collection. I wanted to do a week on Halo 4, but this has just been kind of tough for me to do consistent uploads, and I just have things I need to do around my apartment, and with work being a little bit more, me being at work a little more than I thought I was going to be, it's been tough, so I kind of just wanted to take a week off before the Master Chief Collection comes out. And I might still have a video come out that week, I'm not sure, but I kind of want to use that week to relax, try to figure out a day I can do consistent uploads for you guys. So, starting the Master Chief Collection, I'll have consistent upload dates, and hopefully I'll be able to do that next week. Hope you guys understand, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying this series. Now, Halo 3 is the Halo game that's most near and dear to my heart. It's the first one I owned at launch, one that I put the most time into, like over 7,000 games, over 70,000 kills. I had a 45 in ranked. It was my first real try at ranked Halo, and just a really important game to me and to my friends. Now, this game also has done a lot for Halo. It introduced a lot of new features that would stick with Halo, and it also was a game that kind of set the foundation for the medal system. Multi-kills and killing sprees had the medal set in stone in Halo 3. If you play Halo 2, they'll be a little bit different, but Halo 3 kind of set the medals for what they would be from then on. Halo added theater and the file share system to Halo 3, which were very much ahead of their time. These systems allowed for you to save your matches, both campaign and multiplayer, clip them, and share them with your friends. It allowed for people to save their gameplays more, and really helped montage creators, and just really helped people who wanted to do YouTube commentaries over these. Theater mode is very much an integral part of that. It also added Forge, which, if you played Halo since Halo 3, you kind of know how big of a deal Forge is. Forge allowed for mini games, puzzle maps, custom competitive maps for playing actual multiplayer games on, and has been an integral part of Halo ever since. Though this is the most basic version you're going to be seeing on the Master Chief Collection, there are tricks you can learn, and hopefully they will still work in the final build. Now, while Halo 3 is a very fun and nostalgic time for me, not many people enjoyed it, and for various reasons. One of the main reasons is the utility weapon, the BR, went from hit scan to projectile. And to add to the frustration of projectile weaponry, it was a 3-shot burst with a lot of spread. While the Halo 1 pistol is one that's, very much accepted as a projectile weapon, it was also easy to predict where the bullets were going to be because it was single shot. The fact that the BR is a 3-shot burst, the fact that there was quite a bit of spread on the weapon, and add to the fact that there is not the best netcode for Halo 3, and the hit detection was very shoddy at times, led to a lot of frustration with the game. Also add to the fact that new elements were added to the Halo sandbox in the form of equipment that people just did not agree with. And you would see in MLG that the equipment never really was used. It was kind of left out. Now, the equipment was a very interesting part of Halo 3. Some of them were seen on most maps. Others were actually left out entirely from the multiplayer experience and only used in custom games. The bubble shield, power drainer, trip mine, regenerator, and portable grav lift were ones you could find in normal matchmaking. The bubble shield could be very standstillish. Trying to think, if you played Halo Reach, there was an armor ability very similar to it, and I don't know, it did slow things down quite a bit, and I can see why it was very annoying. It created very standoffish engagements. It allowed people to sit in a bubble shield with a shotgun and make you come to them. So it could also restrict areas, like in tunnels. If you dropped one, if they wanted to go through, they had to go through you, and if you had a shotgun, you could pretty much dominate them. Also, just made for some odd engagements. power drainer was a one that you threw that would strip shields if it ran over, and was very, very useful for large groups of people who were very close to each other. It actually was the way I got my first extermination when a very funny time on the map Ghost Town. I threw a power drainer. Guy, no shield, shot him. The power drainer rolled into the pipes in the back of the map, where 3 people apparently were hiding. The energy drain hit them. The one guy betrayed he killed himself and betrayed his 2 teammates, giving me the overkill extermination. I wish I still had that clip, but man, it was funny. The trip miner is great for vehicles. The regenerator was very overpowered. If you dropped this thing in the middle of a fight and you had a good shot, you would win. It was very, very overpowered, and was the reason many people were very fearful for the Halo 4 armor ability that, regenerate your health. Halo 3 also added quite a bit of new weapons to the sandbox. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot the equipment that wasn't in multiplayer. The other equipment that you could find in custom games were the flare, radar jammer, and deployable cover. Now the flare and radar jammer were originally on multiplayer maps, but were taken out. The flare is very annoying, and it does what it sounds like. It blinds you. Everyone who comes in contact with it is blinded, and it's just a very annoying equipment. Now the radar jammer would also do as it sounded. It would make your radar all weird, and it'd add a bunch of different dots to it, so you couldn't tell who was who. But one of the dots on the radar, they would be right. Some of the dots would actually be the actual dots of people. Others were just there to screw with you. It also had an interesting function that if you jumped in the air and looked down and threw it, you could actually jump off of it in midair. So it kind of gave you a double jump if you could use it that way. It was a little bit not difficult, but took a while to get used to doing it, but it was very fun to do and was very integral in puzzle maps. Deployable cover was never really used online and just kind of a custom game thing, so it was fun to use, but not that useful because it could be destroyed. Halo 3 also added a bunch of different weapons to the sandbox. The laser was added in this game, which it also is the most powerful version of the laser and has the most ammo. The laser also has my favorite sound effect in this game. If you're very far away, like across Sand Trap, and you hear that go off, it is just awesome. It has like kind of like a roar sound, and definitely my favorite sound effects in Halo 3, and in Halo in general. In Halo 3, there were spike nades were added, which were grenades that stuck to your opponent if you hit them with it, and would send out a shower of spikes at the other end when they went off. You could also stick them to walls and such. Incendiary grenades were custom game only grenades, which would leave a little trail of fire that would burn people, and could be used for blocking off hallways for a short period of time. Not sure why they were kept offline, but they were. The hammer was added in this game as a kind of a counter to the sword, and the brute spiker and brute mauler weapons were added to the dual wielding section of the game. 2 brute spikers together were very effective at close range, as they shot basically the same spikes from the spike grenades, and they were very fun to dual wield. You kind of look like a raptor with them. That was why I liked them, because they have little claws on the end, at the end of them. And the dual maulers were little pocket shotguns, which were very awesome and very fun to use. Now, there were some new game types added to Halo 3 as well. VIP, Infection, and Griffball were all exclusive to Halo 3, and while Infection was in Halo 2 as a custom game, it was an official game type in this. There were also some fun tips and tricks for Halo 3. In Halo 3, the Overshield was a power-up you didn't want to pick up immediately. If you picked up the Overshield at the right time, in the middle of a fight, it would continue to recharge, giving you kind of an infinite Overshield. So if you picked it up and timed it right, when someone was shooting at you or coming after you, their shots would continue to knock your shield down, and your shield would continue to recharge because the initial Overshield charge didn't happen. And it was a very powerful tool for people to use. Also, what you're going to be seeing now is a way to tell if somebody's one-shot. And that is that the Spartan will light up more than other Spartans when they're one-shot. I'm just kind of showing you here a quick comparison. You can see the one guy on the left side is one shot, and the guy on the right side, he's not as bright, so you could tell. Alright guys, hopefully this was some good information for you, and hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, and you've been enjoying the series this far. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.